Good afternoon. As I said, I'm Vivek Kapoor. I'm one of the founders of Dineout and now Ayush Pay. Dineout started in 2012. We are the India's largest dining out service. We've got about close to almost 30,000 restaurants working with us, spread across 40 cities. And just last year, we got acquired by Swiggy, which was one of the largest food tech deals in India. My topic for today is, should you take your professional lives personally? Can you imagine 3 of the 4 co-founders of Dineout are present in this picture? That's us today. So we've heard these stories, never do business with your friends, it doesn't work out. We never mix business relationships with personal relationships. It's always a lose-lose situation. And while growing up, we were subjected to these ideologies and thoughts, and we said, probably they are right as well. Because what if something goes wrong? What if because of a riff in the office, you had to let go a lifelong friendship or a beautiful relationship? But at Dineout, we did exactly the opposite. We made our startup extremely personal. Our goals were personal, what we wanted to achieve was personal, our employee relationships were personal. Every setback that we had on our journey was taken extremely personally. That's how personal it was. That's my co-founder taking diner bookings while the office is flooded. That's the kind of person, that's how personal it was for us. And my question to you is, why should it not be personal? Dineout is the biggest example of why should you take your professional life personally. Because by not taking it personally, you do not cover yourself for the extra things that you could do, right? It should be personal because then you go an extra mile to help your co-founders as well. You tolerate each other's idiosyncrasies by making it personal. By not making it personal, you're actually trying to protect yourself from the grief that you might experience if things go south. But as an entrepreneur, fear is the last thing that should bother you, that should deter you. Coming to the background, we 4 know each other since almost 35 years now. We've grown up together, we've gone to the same school, we were part of the same bus, PTA meetings, family functions, birthday parties, girlfriend breakup dramas, our parents are friends, and now even our wives and kids are friends. That's how personal Dineout was. And starting up when we started, so I was in the merchant navy, and when I signed off from the ship, these guys had started working on the concept of Dineout. They had started working, building. And while I was on the holiday, I thought that I just might as well help them out. But soon enough, as fate would have it, I joined Dineout completely. Initial years were chaotic. Initial years were full of insecurities. We started fighting with each other, which had never happened previously, right? We started fighting with each other. There was negativity, there was bickering. A small marketing proposal had to go through all 4 of us before it could, sort of go through. It was very hard for us to let go of things. And this was a recipe for disaster. The first thing we did was, and we recognized this problem, the first thing we did was we tried to divide our work, and we thought that things would go better. But technically, they were not going better. We were put on the right path the day we decided to trust each other. We decided that we'll back each other when anyone fails. We wanted to back each other so that we can learn new things as co-founders. We decided to ban words like, I told you so, maine to tujhe pehle kaha tha, in our office. And I'm guilty of using these words the maximum number of times while we were on our learning journey. Coming from the merchant navy background, I had a lot of unlearning to do. I had never worked ashore. I had no idea of how things worked here. I had my own pros and cons. Coming to the advantages, obviously, because I had sailed, I could manage complex operational problems with absolute ease. Because I was sailing, so I had done carpentry, chipping, painting, toilet cleaning, so no job for me was menial or small. So I could sit at the call center, make calls to reserve tables for our diners right from day one. And I had no qualms about it. And I wasn't doing this to prove a point. I genuinely wanted to understand what my diners were calling us for, what were their expectations. Imagine the impact on the employee when a founder himself is sitting on the call center and making diner calls for table reservations. Coming to the cons, I was a natural at micromanaging. I was a natural, and because I had no qualms in doing the dirty work, I expected the same zeal and enthusiasm from my employees, which was unfair. I expected them to work the same way as I was working. But soon enough, I realized that some people don't look like they're moving rocks. They don't look like moving rocks, but if they're given their own space, they produce extraordinary results. Obviously, I had a massive learning to do. And I started noticing how my co-founders were driving their teams. Yeah, they were driving their teams smartly. Each one of us had a different way of doing things and getting work done. I understood that mine was not the only correct way, and I had to do certain things right. I evolved from this bundle of energy who knew only how to push people to get things done. I became a calmer, firmer leader who could get things done with minimal push. I have full reason to believe that I was the most unpopular founder in the office at the start. But things changed over time as I started giving people their space. As I was becoming more secure, these are my teammates. Yeah, not romantically inclined, we're just good friends. So as I was getting more and more secure in my job, as I was learning more things, so were my co-founders. We were developing a respect for each other. We were understanding what the strengths and weaknesses of each of us are. And that made us even better friends, but that made us even better co-founders too. While we were at it, I think the real magic was happening somewhere else. The real magic was happening, the aura of friendship and empathy that was within all four of us was actually trickling down to each and every level in our organization. My teams, they were partying together, they were celebrating every small win together, they were celebrating fatter checks, bigger revenues, better clients, and everything. Our office cafeteria was always full. The relationship that we had amongst us was actually fostering relationships within our teams as well. The aura of friendship was actually trickled down to each and every level of our organization. We had some legendary dine-out parties, by the way. And none of this culture, our employees had never experienced something like this ever before in their previous work stints. And they were, sort of definitely liking how they were building their own personal relationship with every team member in the office. Usually work becomes toxic when there is insecurity, jealousy, or there's lack of recognition. In Dine Out, our leaders were actually rooting for each other. They were helping each other to win. They were celebrating each other's wins. If there was any leadership role available in the office, somebody from the preference used to be given somebody from within the team to rise up and take that position, open position leadership role. There are many such growth stories in our office where people have risen from the bottom and becoming business heads, city heads, team leads. Two of my team members, this is Manish and Yash, one was a product head, one was the head of Dine Out Passport. Both of them, after quitting Dine Out, started their own venture and were hugely successful. As luck would have it, I was the first, we as founders were the first investors in their company too. Clearly we were doing something right. And we were building a stream of entrepreneurs within the office, right? And this wasn't happening by chance, this was happening by design. We genuinely cared for employees' growth, professional growth. We genuinely wanted them to learn new skills. We assigned them work over and above their KRAs so that they can learn new things. We saw so many stories where a product manager became the head of content, where alliances manager was the head of sales. There was cross-pollination happening all the time. Our employees trusted us with their own professional growth. The employees trusted, they knew that the founders would take responsibility. If there is incremental revenue coming into the company, the first beneficiaries will be our employees, will be the team members. And that gave them a sense of belonging to the team. That gave them a sense of pride towards the brand. Doesn't mean that they were not competitive enough. You see in the picture, we kept on having these healthy competitive exercises in our office. And yeah, so our employees took pride in sort of that they were representing the brand. No brand has ever progressed in the world till the time their clients are happy with them. In Dine Out, we had sales teams, product teams, tech teams actually working together, going over and above their KRAs to ensure that they deliver delight to our clients. The aura of friendship that we had built was clearly helping our on-ground performance, had a clear impact on our on-ground performance. Today, that's the Dine Out family that we built. Today, with Ayush Pay, my new venture, I want to replicate the same values here. To give you a brief background about Ayush Pay, while building Dine Out, I always wanted to do something in the healthcare space. I knew that the middle class and the lower middle class, the biggest problem that ails them is healthcare affordability. And with Ayush Pay, our mission statement is that no Indian should be denied quality healthcare due to lack of funds. That's what we want to achieve. Now, how did this happen? I did not know Ayush Pay's founder since the last 30 years, as was the case with Dine Out. In fact, I had just invested him in a year back as an angel. But something in my journey, with my background, Ayush Pay's founder was inspired to come to me and approach me and asking me to join his team full time. That doesn't happen usually. Any first-time founder will think 100 times before asking a person with my background to join in as a co-founder. It generally leads to a lot of unnecessary insecurities. But there goes my first lesson. You need to be humble and you need to be approachable. There is so many ways being approachable and humble can help you in your entrepreneurial journey. By being humble and approachable, the other advantage is that you get ground level feedback from your sales managers, from your deployment experts, from your product heads directly to you. What it can help you with is you can build go-to-market strategies, you can evolve your product accordingly, and it helps you in greater deals. The second lesson for B was be an equal stakeholder in the problem of your employees. Be a boss only when it's needed. By this I mean that you don't have to be a boss all the time. Be a part of the solution of your employees. You might be fighting thousands of wars in your office on a daily basis, but never undermine or underestimate the operational challenges your employees are facing in his own work domain. Me sitting on the call center doing diner calls was exactly that. I became a stakeholder in the life of a calling agent. How does he reserve tables? What is the customer telling him? And I try to find solutions for him. The third lesson that I would want you to, I want to leave you with is professional growth of your team. As a founder, professional growth of my team is my responsibility. I have to ensure they grow professionally, they grow intellectually, they grow skillfully, they grow financially. And once the employee believes that the founder has taken the responsibility of his professional growth, he will be loyal to you. Even an ordinary employee, even an ordinary worker will deliver extraordinary results. And that's the end of it. And I want to leave you with the question that, are you taking your professional lives personally? I know I did it and it worked for me. Thank you.